Hey, Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed that video, please hit like and subscribe. The Line 6 Helix is available here at the Music Zoo. You can go to themusiczoo.com to purchase one online, or you can come visit us here in Roslyn, New York to check it out for yourself. The Line 6 Helix is a modeling unit that I've had for a few years now. I actually put mine on pre-order once Line 6 had announced that this unit was going to come out. I definitely urge you to do more research, check this thing out, try to get one in front of you and play with it. I think you'll enjoy it just as much as I did as far as unboxing it for the first time and being able to get your tone in a few seconds and rock and rolling right away. I will always love amps. I will always love tweaking pedals, which is why I actually incorporate analog pedals into my setup, because all of the routing options allow you to do that with the Helix. There's something to be said about the versatility and the ease of use and the variety of tones that you can get out of the Helix. On top of that, you can put in your own impulse responses as opposed to using the Helix's own cabinet simulations, which are pretty good themselves, but I prefer using impulse responses. Not to mention how well built this thing is. I've had it for a number of years. I've gigged with it. I've taken it in and out of rehearsals. All the knobs are still nice and tight. There's nothing loose. None of the switches are getting funky on me. I can confidently say that this is a really awesome, solid product. With that said, I'm still a guitar nerd. I'll play with anything and I'll tweak with anything, because that's what this is all about, right? It's about having fun. Be sure to check in and stay tuned for the next episode of Chop and Shred. Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, signing out. Hey, so you thought I forgot about the cooking part, right? Well, you're right, actually. I am going to show you how I cook sunny side up eggs. It sounds really simple, but honestly, I see people do it wrong all the time, quite frankly. So what you're going to need for this video are the following. Obviously, some eggs. You're going to need some salt. You're going to need some oil, a non-stick pan, a spatula, and then of course the vessel that you're going to put your finished product onto. I always like to make sure I have that ready before I start cooking. All right, so let's get to the stove and start boogieing. All right, so let's turn on our burner to a high flame, get our pan on there, pour in some oil. I'm going about 3 to 4 tablespoons right here. Let's just move around this oil so it coats the entire pan. Doesn't have to be perfect, but roughly like that's just fine. And we're gonna crack 2 eggs into the pan while it's still just warming up. And there's a very specific reason for this. And that's because we want the egg to gradually cook so that the egg whites are cooked properly from the bottom to the top. How many times have you gone to a diner, you order sunny side up eggs, and then it's a little snotty on top? I'm not into that. Now, what I'm listening for right now is that first crackle, that first sizzle. That means the oil's getting hot, the pan's getting hot, and our cooking process has started. And now I'm gonna turn that heat low, get our lid, put it right on top. And now what's happening is that the eggs are gonna steam. As those eggs are cooking, the moisture's being cooked out and that steam's being trapped, and it's gonna cook the top of that egg. So you'll have this really creamy yolk, but perfectly cooked egg white. So you have no snot on your eggs. We don't want any snot on our eggs. So we're gonna come back to this once the eggs are ready. We're gonna come back. Okay, eggs are ready. Lifting the cover, look at that. I'm gonna turn off the heat. Our egg whites are nice and cooked. Now let's get plating. Look at those, egg whites perfectly cooked. Yolk nice and warm. So I like to let my guests salt their own eggs, because if you salt it right after you plate it, it's gonna leave little speckles all over the yolk. Again, that's just a nitpicky thing in fine dining. You don't have to do that. If you're serving yourself, go ahead and salt right afterwards. So I'm gonna salt it. And sign of a really nicely cooked sunny side up egg is that the egg white is nice and tender, which it is. Cuts very easy, effortlessly. My yolk should be creamy, little cooked on the bottom, which it is. I'm gonna chow down into these guys. So again, thanks for tuning in. Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, signing out.